It's haloreach time! Hello and welcome to another figure review. Today we're going to have a look at the 1000 Toys re-edit haloreach KAT-B320, actually, also known as Noble 2, and EMILE-A239 Noble 4. Yes, Emile has been out for a while and had him standing around, but I decided just to make this double review so we can see the differences. Because so far, the 1000 Toys lineup for the haloreach figures hasn't been great. But KAT, they can't just recycle, they can't just get away with recycling the same body mold over and over again. So I wanted to make this double review so we can have a look at Emile, which is probably a little bit more like the previous releases, and see what has improved with KAT. Hopefully improved, because I'm begging for improvement with this lineup. But let's have a look at the figures. And don't forget, guys, if you enjoy my content, my reviews, and whatever else I do, please hit it up with a like and subscribe to this channel so you can stay tuned for more, and maybe hit the bell because, you know, algorithms and stuff. We need to get that going, otherwise this is not going anywhere. So, having two haloreach figures in this one, what's your favorite memory of Reach? Because always remember Reach. Okay, size of the character. They roughly have the same size, and at first I thought, well, shouldn't KAT be smaller? No, not. I was wrong about that. So, she stands 17, a little over 17 and a half, close to 18 centimeters to the top of the head, which means we are going up to 7 inches tall. A little bit over that, and then let's just check in for Emile, but I guess it's gonna be almost the same. So he stands about at 18, yeah, reaches that 18 mark, just a teeny tiny bit more, so we go over like a almost 7.2 inches tall. Size comparisons.
Here's Jolter, yes, Sage Figure Arts, Son Goku, an old school McFarlane Toys Halo 4 Master Chief, the 1000 Toys Master Chief, Nendoroid Chishiro Botan, the entire rest of 1000 Toys Noble Team, and Darkseid.
Now, overall look in detail, I'm going to start off with Emile first because it's a lot more of the same. First and foremost, floppy hip joint, or more like chest joint, check. They all have it, so that's freaking awful. So we do have the skull, which is supposed to be just like randomly happened during an explosion, if I remember the lore correctly. Do have some metallic on the visor, which does look nice enough, and the scratches on there. Yeah, it looks okay, alright, I guess. It doesn't look remotely like scratches. And they didn't even scratch the surface, they just painted it on there, which is pretty lame. There is some molded detail on it though, but I don't know, it doesn't look convincing. It looks really cartoony, but whatever. Then we have also the side panel over here, like whatever the hell this is, like a camera. You can move that around. Whee! Then we have the shells in the chest, which is soft plastic and does not have the correct color. This was not like just gray, but it looks to me like they didn't even bother painting it, which is the problem with most of these figures. There is some like nice metallic though going on in the chest area, but a lot of the rest seems like an unpainted model kit. You have some nice gold also for the shells that go around his waist area, and also more metallic in the back. I mean, this does look pretty nice and shiny, and a step up from like the previous figures, although the metallic kind of stops in the back area over there, and that's just like gray plastic, which, you know, it's metallic over here, why couldn't it be metallic over there? I'm just saying. And then we have some more shells in the back, which I don't know if they like painted correctly or not. Also, we do have the knife over here. Let me grab it. Yeah, can't take the knife out with Emile. You can't take the knife out with Emile. The knife guy. Can't take the knife out. Top notch. Okay, so we do have also some red on there, and the white lines, which are supposed to be weathered, but they don't look great. And, you know, a lot of the figure would be looking better if there was actual correct weathering on the armor, and it didn't look so squeaky clean, and it didn't make like a sad, pathetic attempt to make this part weathered. It would look very nice. So then we have some bullets. That's actually painted very well. You know, I gotta give some credit for where credit is due. It is very small and it is very cleanly painted, and we also have all the panels in the armor. I mean, the mold's great. Would be better if had some more paint and weathering. and whatnot. Then we go down to the hip area. We do have the med kit on the side, which is removable. That's a treat. So you can, at least you can switch around the med kits if you want to. And then we have the butt mold, a little bit of more red on the side. And moving down to the shoes, his boots, where we have some die cast, and I think it's only under there. And I just want to check something out real quick. Can I actually switch these things out? So we have this med kit, and we have the one from Kat, and you know, it doesn't match the color and whatnot. I just want to know if you can, if you want to. Yeah, you can. Alright, so fun little feature, which would have been nice with, I don't know, removable knives or whatnot, or grenades, or anything in that regard. Alright, let's have a look at Kat. First and foremost, aesthetically, yes, she almost has the same... Wow, that clicking noise wasn't very good. So she almost has the same size as everybody else, just a little bit smaller, and I think like that fits in with it. The hip part, at first I thought it was still too wide, and she does have fairly wide hips in the game. I don't know why they did that, but yeah, looking at them side by side, that's also why I want to have this look. They definitely trimmed it down a little bit on the sides, but I still feel like maybe part of the torso is maybe a little bit too wide. And we have that. This is one of the worst connections I have ever seen. But, you know, first and foremost, I'm going to start off where I usually start off with the head sculpt. We do have the silver visor, which also has some nice metallic on there, and also has the camera on the side, which... Oh, this one also moves. I thought it didn't. Yeah, it was just a little bit stuck. Have some red dots on the side. And once again, the mold looks fantastic. The paint... yeah, it's just like blue unpainted plastic. Or I don't know, that's what it looks like at least. We have no metallic in the blue. I mean, I'm looking for it. I'm looking for the shine. And like, you know, you can tell immediately, like, look at this shine. And then look at this shine. There is no shine. Anyway, so there's more detail on the back. Have the UNSC logo. We do have some metallic on the silver parts in her spine part. And then we have the regular arm and the robot arm on the other side. And for the robot arm, they really did not give a crap. They were just like, this is how we do arms, and we're just going to do it the same with this one. So the connection, you would peg it in the middle. No, there is like the small peg in the back and the other peg in the lower half, and just kind of press it on there. And that's it. Like, this is the worst connection ever. It does hold the place, but as you notice, just touching it, it fell apart. Also, you have a butterfly joint. I mean, we have a look at the articulation, but look how like just this panel stands out. Like, you can press it back in, but again, if you move it, it's just a big panel that looks freaking awful. We do have some metallic in the robot arm, and I guess that's why they didn't have any budget for the metallic of the rest of the armor for the blue, because they had to put it all in the robot arm. That makes sense, right? For $200 figure, $150. Anyway, so then we move down to the hip part. Again, she does have fairly wide hips. And I'm not really sure about the mold. Like, they did trim it down, but could have trimmed it down maybe a little bit more. Legs with the med kit on the side goes over from the blue to the gray. We do have a little bit of paint on there, because they were forced to do so. Some more forced weathering on the white lines. As we move down to the boots, and there's some more thin blue lines, which again are supposed to show off some weathering. The amount of paint that's on there, it's not a lot. But at least it's good for the most part. You know, it's clean, but you know, could have used some metallic weathering. Articulation is really pretty much the same, but I'm going to give you a look at both of them anyway. So we have a ball on the head, so you can bring that back and forth. Also tilt it side to side a little bit. You know, they did hollow it out, but with Emile, with all the amount that's going on in the helmet, you can't really bring it forward that much. But you do also have neck articulation, can bring that back and forth. Can tilt it side to side, and if you get it into like a good position, it does go forward decent enough, or like that, or like to the back. Okay, if you give it a good push, it makes this ugly noise, but goes forward quite nicely. Then we have the big panel for the shoulder, so you can bring that out, butterfly joint, bring it forward, and then also rotate it on the ball. The ball has a hinge. As such, it goes forward quite nicely. Fair enough. It is getting blocked by the soft plastic shells in the front. So that's not too great, but also swiveling, and then the double hinged elbow, hinge over there, has a swivel also in the middle, and the fists are just on ball hinges. It is on a ball and then in a hinge, but this one seems to be blocked. Let's try this one out. Okay, there it is. You can see it now. It's on a ball and on a hinge if the camera were to focus. There's a hinge and there's the ball. I'm sick and tired of just disconnecting stupid stuff. And we have the wobbly chest joint. I mean, the forward motion is quite nice if you hold on to this. So we do have this. Does tilt side to side also a little bit. And then the lower half, this is where it's like just doesn't stick. Okay. I guess we lost the part where you put the gun in there, in the back. I don't know what's... Something just fell off. Alright, so then we move this back and forth. The lower half can also be tilted side to side a little bit, but not that much. Then we have the legs, also by the way, can move the side skirts up over here, so you don't crash in with the legs. Moves forward, in an angle, can't get it straight. Moves to the back all the way, and also can be swiveled and moved out as this just... Everything just disconnected. He's just falling apart in front of everybody's eyes. Then we have a double hinge knee. At least this one's nice and tight. I mean, most of the figure's nice and tight, except for, you know, that part. And then we have the foot, which goes forward, goes to the back, and then we also tilt that side to side on, like, we have... Well, we actually do have a ball joint on the upper half. And then also one on pivot on the lower half. So, that works nice. Works forward to the back, and... can also be rotated around, no issue. And then we also have a toe hinge, and you can slightly move this part up and down. So there we go for like some more toe hinge action to not get in the way with that. We also have a weird connection for his big shoulder pad. There's a ball in the lower half, and then you have this entire pack which goes up and then goes into another ball, which is like... So you can move it on the top part and move it on the lower half. Mostly up and down, like side to side movement. I'm not really getting anything out of that. And then just real quick, gonna have a look at Kat. So the head is hollowed out a lot more, so it does go back and forth a lot better, side to side. Swivel is also all the way around, and again, a lot more room with the design, so you can move forward and backward a lot more. Also, I'm happy to say that the entire torso area is a lot more solid. Also didn't mention, we do have the little panel in the front over here in the chest area. You can move this back and forth to line it up with your articulated pose. So, you know, if you move it back, you just push it in and it looks a lot better. But also be careful just to get it out again, because it's going to block the articulation if you're going to try to move it forward. Does tilt side to side, and then for the hip part, does move back and forth. I feel like not as much. It also does tilt side to side, and does swivel around. But let's bring it back to the robot arm. So we do have just the exact same joint that we have on the other side, and they just put this panel over there. So first and foremost, that entirely blocks the forward movement. I feel like the other one... Okay, then that just happened. Is it blocked in there? Okay. No, I guess it has almost the same forward movement, so I take that back. So we can move this panel around. The forward movement with that is nice, because it is also like on a ball over there. Well, no, more than a hinge. You can move the hinge back and forth, I guess, to cover up some of the weird engineering. And you would think that you can move this part up. Oh, there it is. Okay, we're stuck. So we can move this part up. And then we also have a swivel in the bicep. You have this part of the armor, which is also... I can see it's on a ball, but it's, everything is stuck in here. So you can move this one around as well. I don't really know why. It's like not supposed to be movable. And then we have this beautiful hinge, which is probably disconnecting again. Also could have a swivel on the lower half, but we don't. You know, just not play around with it. Also could have a swivel on... Oh, we do actually have a swivel on there. And then we do have a ball joint, which is so freaking blocked that I'm barely getting anything out of it. So that's the robot arm. Other arm is the same with Emile. Bring it forward, a swivel, double hinge, 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 and then a swivel in the middle, and a ball hinge, ball joint on a hinge. For the fists. Now, for the legs, same thing. Side skirts can be moved up, moves forward in an angle to the back, out to the side, and can be swiveled. Double hinge knees with... This one doesn't... They didn't put a swivel in the double hinge knees, but yeah. These ones look really weird. I don't know. It looks like really... Like, the way it folds out, it's just, like, so massive. And, you know, why is the knee pad on the lower half? Because that just makes it look freaking weird. Yeah. Engineering-wise, this looks like a turd coming out of a leg. I don't know why I said that, but that's just how it felt. So, and then for the foot, same thing. ball joint, can move that side to side, forward, backward, and also have a toe hinge. Woo! Now I remember why I don't do double views as much, because they're freaking exhausting. Good thing there's not a lot of accessories. I'm kidding, of course. So, for the hands, we have the exact same set of hands for each character. The one thing about Kat, though, is like the her right hand looks a lot more robotic. So at least they did that. Gotta give them credit for that. So these are the sword holding hands. Then we have like obviously trigger finger hand, because this is from a shooting game, so you gotta have trigger finger hands. Then we have these kind of grabbing hands, so like maybe grenade would have been nice if one of the characters had one. And then we have these also open grabbing hands. You could probably also fit a grenade in there if you had one. Then we have an assault rifle, which looks fine enough. You do have this weird angle, this weird hinge over here to connect it to the back. No detail on the HUD over there, but you know, it's a good looking rifle. I don't want to be too negative, but you can switch out any magazines or whatnot. Also, there's just like zero playability with these guys. And for the gun part, you just get this panel out there. Yeah, there's like a little hold on to it. Let's try it with Emile. For those of you who don't know, you can put the gun out. There we go. We have the hole in the back. And you could also probably put a gun on the side like a pistol over here, if we had one. I know. So for the Emile hands, I'm not going to show you because it's the exact same set as these hands, but we also have the shotgun, which is cool. At least it's different weapons. At least it's not again an assault rifle. Shouldn't Kat have... Didn't she use more of a pistol? I don't know. Could have had a pistol if we had one. So then again, we have the shotgun, which looks nice. I like the shotty. Also has a little bit of detail in the front over there. I like a glossy part in there. And yeah, other than not being able to change any magazines and whatnot, that's disappointing. But yeah, shotgun looks great. Also has the hinge on this side. And yeah, if you're wondering, there's like the PX exclusive versions, which I don't have because they cost like over 200 bucks. I went with regular ones because I don't know what I was trying to say there. I only did order the regular ones, I think. Because they're already expensive enough. Thank you very much. Final thoughts! Well, for Emile, it's more of the same. Has a floppy torso joint, a general lack of paint, no weapons and whatnot. Can't even remove his knife. You do have some nice metallic in the torso area. You know, the shotgun looks okay. But that's about it. Also, he doesn't have a good grip on the shotgun because the trigger finger hand is the same for everybody else. And I didn't try to adjust it for the shotty at all. Then for Kat, I appreciate that they try to slim it down. You know, try to get those proportions and not make her look like any of the dudes and just put another helmet on it and be done with it. I'm trying to think of anything else that was good about the figure. We have some metallic on the arm piece. That's great. Don't have metallic on the rest of the figure. Well, a little bit in the neck area. Well, the back, the spine area. Then we also have like weird connections for her robot arm. We have the worst connection in the elbow itself. And generally speaking, I feel like the figure is a little bit better because she's also tighter. She does not flop around like the entire rest of the freaking cast. But then we also have like weird placement for the knee joints, for the knee caps more precisely. They just kind of stand out. Whatever. Yeah. Final thoughts? They're not good enough, especially at a $150, $170 price point. 200 or over 200 if you're buying the PX exclusive, which do have like a different visor and like an extra weapon. Wow, something these guys should have. I mean, we're all in agreement on that. I don't think these figures are awful, terrible garbage. However, at the price point, they're a freaking joke. So why do I keep buying them? I don't know. I was still kind of hoping they might improve something, but obviously at this point, we only have George left now, so I'm going to have the full set, and then afterwards, I don't know what I want to do with it. I'm probably going to cry and contemplate how I'm so bad at managing my finances. So yeah, that's going to do it, guys. As usual, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this review, hit it up with a like, and subscribe to the channel, so you can stay tuned for more figure reviews, card game stuff, and whatever Emile in Kat want.